Hey, Nicole. Hey, Angelia, how you been?
Girl, I've been good. What about you?
Girl, everything's been going good. What's new with you?
Honey, out here trying to be my own boss and I'm making these money moves.
You know, I've been trying to stay fit and work on my health and my wellness.
All right now. What about the issues us women are facing today and the struggle with these relationships? Oh my gosh.
Girl, that's just too heavy. Let's go hit up the hot spots and happenings.
Girl,
Let's talk.
This girl is on fire!
Welcome to the 2016 Women That SOAR Awards. Tonight we celebrate women whose fearless efforts in a variety of fields have taken them to the pinnacle of their professions, but more importantly, it's given them the ability to reach out and enrich the world around them.
I'm blessed and I'm broken. You need to read my book to hear more. Google me, I'm really famous.
Let's talk with Angelia and Nicole. Today's guest is Miss Gina Grant. Come on out.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here. Let's talk with Angelia and Nicole.
Thank you, ladies, for
appreciate
having
it.
me. You guys look beautiful.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
You are the woman that soars. So we appreciate that.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, so tell us, who is Gina Grant? I know you, but the audience doesn't know you. Tell us about Gina Grant. Who is she?
Okay, so, you know, I really don't like talking about myself. It's hard to do that. But I would say Gina is a wife, mother, child of God,
Yes.
crazy. Okay, so anybody who knows me knows I'm crazy. I love to have fun. But you know what? To be honest, I'm just that free-spirited girl who loves to empower and inspire people every day, whether that's through
Absolutely.
laughter, through storytelling,
Absolutely.
just being a servant in helping to change someone's life through my own journey and my own story.
Wow.
That's me.
Good. What were you doing before Women That SOAR started?
So prior to this, I was a publicist.
Okay.
I worked in the entertainment industry, so I represented athletes and entertainers. I called myself a high-paid babysitter.
Okay.
Okay.
It was fun, wasn't it?
You know what? In the beginning, it really was. It was so much fun, but you do become burnout. And I got to the place where I was burnout. And when I did that, I called up one of my mentors, Terry Williams. Terry was one of the most powerful publicists in the entertainment industry. And I said, you know what? I'm not loving this anymore. I'm really not. I had just had my last son, Zachary. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, I'm literally in the labor room having a child and on the phone
No.
with Ken Griffey
Are you
Jr. and Royce
serious?
Clayton saying, okay, you've got to get to this set, you've got to do that, you've got to do this. And the doctor coming in
Oh,
and
wow.
saying, no, it's time, you know,
Get
to
off
have
the
this baby. And I'm
phone.
like, this baby can't come until my clients are secure. So
Really?
that's when I learned, you know,
Wow.
I'm on the fast
Wow.
track and I've got to slow down. So when I talked to Terry, she said, well, you've got to shift gears.
Yeah.
Or you can be like me. And I was like that. She's like, go on Prozac. I was like, nah, I think I'm going to shift gears.
Shift them gears.
Yeah,
You shifted.
so
Yes.
I shift gears and I had
Yeah.
to take a break. I just had to take a step back and I went into prayer and asked God, what did he want me to do? What did he need from me?
Wow. Wow.
So did you find your purpose when you asked him that?
I did.
He showed it to you?
He showed it to me.
Okay. Did you walk in it?
I'm walking in it.
You walk in it. All right. So
Yes.
you found it and you staying in it.
He did. He did. It was Women That SOAR.
Really?
I fought
Yeah.
it, but it was truly, that's what he gave me.
What
Women That
inspired
SOAR.
you to create Women That SOAR?
It was really, like I said, it was a God thing.
It was.
I was watching Oprah's Legends Ball, and I saw how she was honoring all of these African American women, and I thought, oh wow, this is beautiful, how powerful. And I just, you know, called up a girlfriend of mine and said, you know, we should do this. And so I went into prayer, and I was then with my last client, Nanette Lee. She was my last client, and she had said she wanted to do a women's, you know, seminar. So I'm still praying about what I want to do.
Yeah.
And she said, Gina, I want to do a women's seminar. I said, okay. And 2 weeks out, she said, what's the name? And I said, I don't have anything. And so I went home, and in the wee hours between 2 and 3 in the morning, God spoke to me, and he said, Women That SOAR. So I went back to the radio station, and I said, we're calling it Women That SOAR. And she said, I don't like it. I said, well, take it up with Jesus, because that's what
I
we're
know
doing.
that's right.
And there were 800 women there.
Wow.
Afterwards, I kept pondering with it again. Had seen Oprah's Legends Ball, knew it was something that needed to be done, but wasn't sure, and I kept talking to my girlfriend about it. And a year later, we decided we were going to go for it, and we didn't call it Women That SOAR. I didn't do that right off the bat, although God had given it to me, and I knew He did. I called it Brilliantly You.
Okay.
But when I went and pitched it to a TV station, I gave the name, and they said, we don't like it.
Really?
And I said, why? And he said, I don't like the name. And he came up with another name. Give me another name. And this is one of the general managers with CBS. And I couldn't think of anything right then. I said, what about Women That SOAR? And he said, I love it. He said, we love it.
Look at that.
We'll give you
Should have been obedient the
yes,
first time.
the first time. I should have been
Obedience, yeah,
obedient.
exactly.
And he said, we love it. We'll give you a 1-year deal to see if you can
Wow.
take this show. We'll back you, and we'll put the show
That's
on air.
amazing.
But I'm out in LA and I'm pitching it and I'm saying Brilliantly You, and he's immediately everyone says, I don't
No,
like it.
not that.
Give me something else. And I just said Women That SOAR, and he said, we love it. So
So how many
Perfect,
shows had you done
perfect.
before that? Because you mentioned something about the number 800. So did you have an event with 800 women?
So 800 women was when I did it with Nanette. That was my client. So she had 800 women in attendance.
Was that your first one?
That was the first
Your
one
kickoff?
with
Okay.
her. Now again, she had called it Women That SOAR, and that was the first one. But when I went and said, okay, God, I'm going to take this name, because she said, I don't want that name. I don't like it.
Wow.
And so I said, okay. So I said, I'm going to trademark the name.
Okay.
I took about six months off and just decided, went into prayer. And now, mind you, let me just tell you the story before. So this is how God works. After we had the one with 800 women in it, I decided I was going to do one solo by myself. Now that one had 3 women in it. This was after the 6-month sabbatical. I was
Okay.
like praying, and
Really?
and God had said, yes, move forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, what the world? What happened? There were 3, because this is what He said to me. When I did Women That SOAR on my own, I was targeting nothing but African American women.
Right.
It was all about African American women. I went home, I cried. I said, you told me to be faithful. For 6 months, you told me to do this. He said, I didn't say Black women soar. And that was it.
Jeez.
There was nothing else that was spoken.
He said women.
He said women soar. So I learned
That's
a valuable
good. That's
lesson.
good.
Wow.
And God's plan was for me to touch all women through all walks of life and
Yes.
inspire and empower women through storytelling. So it wasn't about Black women, white women, Hispanic women, Asian women. It was about women. And that was a lesson I had to learn.
Wow. So 3 people.
3
So that
people.
pretty much says that, because you've been in business now, how many years?
10 years.
10
yes.
years.
Yes, 10 years.
Oh my
so
God.
this is the thing. You go from 3 people to not giving up, because 3 people can bankrupt any business. And I tell people, you can be bankrupt mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. You stayed in the race after 3 people?
I was it almost bankrupted me. I was in debt. I was in a lot of debt. I was in debt financially. I was in debt emotionally
It's draining.
and spiritually. I was questioning God. Emotionally, my husband was not happy with me, because he was like, you took money to invest in this, and this is what happened.
The outcome is
Yes,
not great.
the outcome.
Absolutely.
You said, God said, and so that, and then financially, it took a toll.
It will.
But in that time, God was so faithful.
Absolutely.
He was so faithful, because all I could do was turn to Him.
Yes.
I was in
Wow.
a situation where I couldn't go left, I couldn't go right. All I could do was face down,
Right
and I
there.
was with God. And being with Him, He showed me. So He restored my finances. He restored my faith. He restored me emotionally. And it has been a journey. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But every time there's been a situation, God has
Absolutely.
said, I've got it.
Yes.
With all
Every
of that,
time.
going through the bankruptcies and things like that, did you ever feel like giving up, or maybe I shouldn't do this, or did you always just push through each obstacle?
I felt like giving up this morning.
Okay.
That's real.
You're being
I'm
real.
just
Being in business is hard. I
being
can
in
tell you
business is
that.
hard.
Yeah.
I tell people there are days, even now, the finances may be different, but there's another challenge. Because
Always.
with growth,
Absolutely.
you always have to
It
go to the
increases.
next level.
Mhm.
Always.
Yeah. So, yes, I felt like giving up a lot of times.
Okay.
I still feel like giving
Yeah.
up some days.
That's being real.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be real with you.
Yeah.
But on those days, I know something different. I know whom to turn to. So when I'm feeling a little weak or a little tired or a little drained, I go to my father.
Yes.
Okay.
And I sit and we talk.
Yes,
And
that's
or we'll go to
wonderful.
lunch.
Yeah.
You know, I turn my phone off.
Yes.
So there's a pattern.
Yes.
There's something that I do.
So you have a system in place.
A system. So when I'm feeling bankrupt, whether that's financially, emotionally, or spiritually, I go to the provider.
Okay,
And you feel-
And that
absolutely.
provider fills me up.
Absolutely.
You know, and then
Yes.
I'm ready.
You ready? Because it can be challenging.
gosh.
I know for me being in business that I always put out a business that I 50% on.
Yes.
I mean, put in some
Yeah.
money. And, you know, I keep finding myself facing those challenges. So there's days you want to quit, and I tell people I'm gonna quit, but I'm gonna come back tomorrow because I got to know when I've had enough, and I don't want to do anything out of character or say something you shouldn't say, and then you look up and you lose your business just because you're upset.
Right.
So it takes a lot for someone to be strong like you are, because I know the challenges of that.
Yes.
I know
Yes,
the
we
challenges.
do.
What is the greatest accomplishment Women That SOAR has reached so far?
Okay, so the greatest accomplishment was working with Reuben Cannon. For me, Reuben Cannon is a legend in Hollywood. He is a legend in Hollywood. When I was in my early 20s starting out, I used to read all the credits on the movies and TV shows, and I would, say, whew, one day I'm gonna work with that white man.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Follow me here.
Yeah.
And not knowing Reuben Cannon was African American.
Okay. Okay.
And so I think only two people do that, me and Oprah. But I said, I'm going to work with this white man one day.
Yeah.
And I claimed it. And in 2016, he came to the Women That SOAR Awards. A friend had emailed one of our producers at the time, said, Gina, can I invite my friend Reuben Cannon to the award show?
Right.
And it was how it was spelled, R-E-U-B-E-N. And I said, the Reuben Cannon? He says, do you know him? And I said, no. Well, please invite him. And I said, could you ask him to have dinner with me? I know I'm supposed to, meet him and work with him. Well, we did. And I shared with him the story of how I watched, him from the time I grew up. And, I said, and I know you've heard this before because Oprah tells this story. She knew she was supposed to work with Reuben Cannon and when she was getting The Color Purple. And I'm not going to go into that long story, but she too thought he was a white guy and, she wanted to work with him. But that's how she got the role in The Color Purple.
Oh,
and
wow.
he said, well, you and everyone else says they're supposed to work with me. But 3 months later, he called me and he says, you know what? You were right. We're supposed to work together. So
Wow.
That's
major.
That
Wow.
was, yes, that was probably the biggest one for me. The second one, and this isn't someone I claimed to work, ever wanted to, didn't know of, had never heard of her, was Cheryl Boone Isaacs. And she is the former president of the Academy Awards and Oscars.
Wow.
And now, she's
That's
working
big.
with Women That SOAR to help
Yes.
take our award show to the next level. So,
And it will.
yeah. So Reuben just has brought in this team of people that he has worked with and just helped the platform build and grow. So I'm in awe of working with him.
Well, what can we expect going forward with Women That SOAR or just with Gina Grant?
With Women That SOAR, you can expect that we are building a global media platform that we want to touch the lives of all women around the world. And I believe within the next 3 years, we will have content not only here in the United States, but in Dubai, all throughout the Middle East and China.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing. We also have a partnership with American Airlines where we now have in-flight
Yes,
entertainment,
yes.
which Angelia
Yes, she is.
we launched her story on our channel, which is American Stories
Yes.
on American Airlines in-flight entertainment, and that airs throughout the United States and international
What an
flights.
honor.
So that's really
That's
huge
big.
for us. So we want to
Good
continue
job.
to grow and just expand in the next 3 years where we're all over. The platform has reached globally.
That is
For
great.
Gina Grant, wow, you just expect me just to live, love, and
That's
laugh.
right. That's right. One day at a time.
One day at a
That's
time.
it.
Live,
That's
love,
it.
and laugh.
Yes.
That's it.
Awesome.
I mean, I just really want to thank you for even reaching out to honor women in their stories, because you did honor me this year, so I was a
Yes.
recipient.
Yes.
My co-host was able to be
I was
present,
there,
so
and
we
it was
love what
awesome.
you've
I
done.
was there. First time ever
Yes.
going, and we absolutely loved it. It was the whole
ball.
production of it, and just to see the women and hear all of their stories was absolutely amazing. So you're doing a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
very
anyone
wonderful.
sitting in that audience cannot sit there, because if they are left with feeling like they have nothing left to live for, like there's no way to go on. When they come to that show, hear those stories of women making a difference and taking adversity and turning something positive, and then hear you follow up with who you are and where you come from.
Yes.
They can't help but know I'm
They
beautiful,
can't
because that's your
help.
signature.
Yeah. Yeah.
You grew up
Do you
knowing you were
have-
beautiful no matter
Thank
what
you.
happened.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's powerful.
That's it. Thank you so much, because
Yes.
that's what, I tell people, that's all I was called to do. I had to learn that. I had to become obedient. But once I did, that's
Look what
what
happened.
I want to do.
Obedience.
Yes.
That's the word.
That's it.
Obedience.
So I'm no longer bankrupt, and like I said, when I am, I know where to go to,
Turn
and
to
I
get
go.
filled.
I go and get a refill.
Yeah, because money can be replaced, but it's when you're spiritually broken.
Yes.
And when you're mentally and physically broken, that's the hardest thing to fill up.
Yes.
And so you have to turn to the Father. Definitely.
So let me ask you to, with our followers and our viewing audience, if you could turn to them and just give them any words of advice in general, just from Gina Grant or the Women That SOAR, what would you tell them?
So here's my advice to every woman. Be your true, authentic self. Love yourself. Enjoy the journey. There are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days, there are going to be days when you just want to throw your hands up and say enough. But enjoy the journey, because when you look back, it wasn't as bad as you thought.
Yes.
It's not about the past, it's about the future. So celebrate the brilliance within and learn to soar.
Thank you. We
Awesome.
appreciate you coming.
Yes.
So what we have to do, though,
Yes.
because I can follow you, I'll find you. But tell our audience how to find Gina Grant. So please look and tell them how they can find you on all your media
And
platforms.
Women That SOAR.
You
Absolutely.
can follow us at Women That SOAR on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Those are our Women That SOAR handles: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yes.
At Women That SOAR.
Great.
Okay, well, Gina, we are honored to have you sitting on this couch and just sharing your stories and all the wonderful things that you're doing for the women in the community. And again, we want to thank our viewing audience for joining us. You can always follow us on letstalkan.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Let's Talk ANN. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
When they ask, why does your mom do what she does? The only thing I can say is because she's been through so much and she know where she's trying to go, right? So I mean, like, once you go through something so much, it's almost like you have a purpose here now. You're not just living anymore. You can't be just living anymore. So I feel like the reason why she does everything she does is to not only show her children, but to show others that you can overcome whatever you set your mind to and whatever obstacles that you're going through.
She genuinely cares about people, and she cares about them in a way that she is always looking for ways to give and give back.
I grew up in an entrepreneurship family, so I always felt that I was going to be an entrepreneur myself.
Business-wise, she does a lot. She wears a lot of hats. She's a philanthropist. She's a brand herself. She's a realtor. She's a home builder, you know, a manager. So it's not too many things that I can't say that she does not do.
Currently, I'm working with Life Changing Community Development Corporation, which is a 501c3, and it's where we help to inspire, empower, educate, and give back to people who are in need. The reason I've chose to help the people that I'm choosing is because every part of that aspect has been part of my life.
She helps by being a listening ear. You know, a lot of times people really just want somebody they can listen to, you know, or somebody to be able to listen to them. So it's almost like I went through this, and so now I'm reaching back to be able to help the next person up.
No matter where you come from, whether you are the man on the street or whether you are a CEO of a company, it really doesn't matter to Angelia. She sees the person, she sees the human. She's just wanting to serve all mankind.
I wrote a book entitled Slaying with My Broken Pieces, and that book talks about the story of my life. It talks about being domestically abused, being kidnapped, attempted murder, left temporarily blinded. It talks about how I was also single parent twice, divorcee twice, and a cancer survivor, and then being put out of a business that I 50% own. But it really just tells a person, you know, that they can find a way to be who they're supposed to be, who they were called to be, and use everything that's in them and everything they've gone through on this journey of life to be the person God created them to be.
Everything that she touches turns to gold. And you look at all the obstacles that she's had in her life, and when you see her, she's still smiling and she's still saying, we can do it, we can make it happen, we can help.
I picked up every piece of adversity And I've created something that no one else can say they've gone through, no one else can say they've overcome, but I've shown people that it can be done because I rebuilt my empire.
I feel like for her, it just so happened to be a blessing that she's been able to have that mindset to say, if this didn't bring me down, then this is not gonna bring me down. So I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure I leave a mark on whatever expertise I'm trying to get into.
The advice I would give to a woman that's starting on their own path is just be you. Realize what your gifts and your talents are, maximize those, and just be you, because so many people try to duplicate someone else, but we need you in this game. And we need you to say, you know what, I'm gonna take the talents that's within me and I'm gonna be that woman who soars, because I know that I have something different to bring to the table. And that's why I'm here today, because I'm a woman who soars. I'm a woman who can say no matter what I've gone through, I can make it. And I will be successful. I will be the best me that God has called me to be.
She was born to make a difference. She was born to have passion for people. She was born to just be there, be that guiding light when it's dark. And I believe that's why she continues to persevere in everything that she touches.
Hey guys, this is Nicole with Fitness ROI, Return on Your Investment. I'm going to show you simple ways that you can get a workout in the privacy of your own home, if you're out traveling in an own hotel, or just at your own convenience. So there's no excuse why you cannot commit to at least 15 minutes, 2 to 3 days every week. A little bit of my background is I've been a personal trainer for 15 years, and I've worked in health and wellness for over 20 years, helping people achieve their goals, come off their medications, or whatever their personal goals are. So come with me, we'll do a little bit of working out. We're gonna start with some cardio, we're gonna add in weights, and I'll give you a routine on 5 days a week. Stay with me. All right, let's start with walking or jogging, just 15 minutes per day. If you can get in 3, 4, 5 days a week, it's gonna help with increasing your metabolism. It's gonna help you with stress relief. Those that suffer with anxiety or whatever's going on, it's gonna help you start burning calories. Okay, next is legs. So a great exercise for legs are squats or lunges. I'm gonna show you the proper way to do a squat right in the privacy of your own home. And a great way to do lunges, and what this does, it builds and tones the largest muscles of your body, which are your legs and your thighs. All right, jumping jacks, really? How old is this exercise? It has to be around at least for centuries. This one exercise you can do anywhere with only maybe 3 feet around you. I'm gonna show you how you can modify and do this without jumping very high. And then for my advanced people that work out, we're gonna do an absolute full jumping jack. All right, so join me on Instagram where I'll be posting a few days a week on me doing these exercises that I've just demonstrated for you. And let me challenge you to go ahead and do the same and tag me in your video, and I'll help keep you motivated. #FitnessROI. I can't wait to see your workout.
Welcome back. We have just finished interviewing the fabulous Gina Grant of Women That SOAR. So today we're going to talk about some relationships pertaining to what? Friends? Exes?
Friends and exes.
Friends? Them two don't even go together.
No,
That
they
should not
don't.
even be in the same sentence.
Friends
But
and
since
exes?
it is.
Are we saying friends are now exes dating? Or are we saying ex-friends? We saying male friends? What are we talking about?
So let's talk about, okay, let's throw this question out there. Is it okay to date your friend's ex?
And no.
Ding, 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 ding.
No. I mean, why would you even
Think about it.
Yeah, why that thought should never cross your mind.
I totally agree with that.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Your teeth grind
I don't
a
get
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
Why you say no like
Something
that?
just hurt my body.
I mean, for real.
I've experienced that. Somebody dated my ex, and oh my gosh.
A friend of yours dated Travis.
An
No longer a
ex-boyfriend?
friend. My,
Oh,
Yeah.
so this was a boyfriend. Okay.
I don't know how much I want to tell y'all, because, it's pretty deep. But it's real. And, it happened to me. It happened to some other people. But,
I mean, but was it a friend? Was she your friend? She was your
she was
friend.
my friend, and she introduced me to the guy.
That she's now dating.
Yes.
I mean, as in like dating now.
She's now dating him, yes.
She
Something's wrong with
introduced you to
that.
this
She
person.
introduced me to him. We were together for a whole lot of years.
What's a whole lot of
Wait a
years?
minute. Were you
Y'all don't know
married
too
to
much.
this person?
Boy, you just hit it right on. I didn't have to tell you, did I? But yes.
Wait a minute.
I was-
She introduced you to your husband.
She introduced me to my husband. He was
Your
became my
husband?
best friend. And
For
then we got
of
married.
how many years?
We were together 20 years. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so
We married
this is
15.
a how many years? So this is a 20-year marriage, and I'm assuming a 20
15-year
plus
marriage, 20 plus years altogether.
And your friendship with her had to be what, 20, at least 20 years because she introduced y'all.
Yes.
Okay, so she was always in this whole marriage. She's been your friend through the whole marriage.
She was. Yeah.
Was she your confidant doing it?
No, she
Not
wasn't
necessarily,
she was
yeah.
no, she was never my confidant, but the whole thing that bothered me the most is she was my friend. And when I classify anyone as a friend, that's off limits for anything and everything we could possibly imagine because I don't use friendship lightly, the
Okay.
word friend, and I don't have a lot of friends. I don't
Right.
need a
I
lot.
understand.
So
Right.
she was someone who was a friend, but also she was someone who was in my house on each and every holiday occasion. Her family and our families intermingled. But
Wait.
y'all
Her
know
family,
what?
okay, family.
Was she married to?
Yeah, I was just.
She was married previously, and then she got a divorce, and she was dating, and then somewhere along this pattern, this thing called life, they started dating.
Okay, so let me ask you this: they started dating after you two were no longer together.
Yes. Oh yeah, because everybody's still alive, right?
Okay.
I'm not in jail right now.
Wait a minute.
I'm not in
Wait a
jail right
minute.
now.
Wait
Even
a
though I've
minute.
been close to going even now.
So
But-
when did you learn of this? Like how much after longer after you guys had separated, divorced?
We were divorced, and then let's see, maybe. Well, honestly, and to tell the truth, I don't know how long they had been in this situation that led to a relationship. All I know is one day it was discovered they were dating. And then one day the situation got heated to where everybody just got to be happy, pretty much is what I was told. And it was hard to deal with. Yeah, everybody's got to be happy no matter what, you know. But the whole thing to it is that me and my ex-husband are still best friends. And that's because we had a friendship. And so a lot of people ask me, how can you be friends with somebody who's dating your friend? And it hurts, but that's my kid's father. But the thing is, I look past that. And one thing my pastor always said is that their purpose is greater than my pain. And so when I look at that, and I know everything I'm having to channel through, as far as with kids involved, and the healthiness and the welfare and the being of my kids, and the fact that my child was around this person all her life from tutoring and other things, that I had to be the bigger person and keep the family overall together. Even though I still be about to go to jail some days. Yeah.
You are some type
You're an
of
amazing woman.
Yes.
Amazing.
Too much.
You are some type of woman.
crazy.
You
'Cause I beat the hell out of both of them.
You hear me?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. All that sound good, but yeah.
Oh,
Somebody getting their head beat in. But I
Something
see
is
it.
going on.
I've been close to being there.
Oh, my
I've been
God.
close to being there, especially with her. Not more so him, because sometimes you have to understand what people are and what. And I know the situation that he was going through at that time. And women, you know how we are. We know how to slide on in there. Let's be real. Women know how to get next to somebody.
Yeah,
And
but I can next to nobody
No,
that
you
my
should
friends
not.
was married to.
Not a true
Yeah,
woman,
man.
but I'm saying. Well, first of all, in this situation, and most of the time when someone, to me, lowers their standards to talk to another friend's person, they're trying to be who you were. She can
can
never
see
be
that.
who I am. She would
I
never
mean,
have what
that's
we had because she's not me.
Well,
It's
on that,
something
it
there.
takes two though.
It does.
Yeah,
He's at fault too.
There's some
Yeah.
responsibility there.
What would that be,
'Cause he
DJ?
can say
Tell me from
no.
the male standpoint.
From my perspective, I love my friends. My friends, I love. I don't even call them my friends. I call them my brothers.
Right, right,
There's nothing that would make me do that.
right.
Nothing.
I don't care how fine she is.
That's
Nothing.
I mean, she's
At all.
fine.
Just hit the table.
That's
I mean,
it.
she's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, she fine. Whoopie-doo.
It's
What
the
is
code.
it?
You would
Yeah.
never break that.
I'm not gonna
That
ever.
bond.
Yeah.
So who pursued who? Do you know that part?
I don't know, and honestly, it got to the point to where I didn't even want to know. Because
It doesn't matter.
I got
sure
a
It
side
doesn't
of
really
me. I
matter.
try not to let
because
come
they're
out.
both wrong.
Yeah, it don't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, so it,
It
really
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
Yeah,
matter.
I
It
try
doesn't
not to
matter.
let my twin out because.
Is it bad?
And think about this.
Yes.
My loyalty to my ex-wife, my loyalty to my ex-girlfriend,
Yes.
whoever that
Anything.
person
Yes.
is, it's just gonna supersede that.
Yes.
I don't care how we broke up. I don't care what the
yes,
circumstances
yes,
were.
and yes.
I'm not gonna date her best friend, or I'm not going to date.
It wasn't my
her.
best friend, period.
Yeah.
But you get where I'm
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from.
friend,
I'm not
friend.
gonna date in that friend circle. I'm just
Absolutely.
not gonna do that.
Not gonna do it. I
That's
wouldn't do it.
trifling.
You know,
I
you
don't care
can
if it
tell.
was 25 years later,
you're
30
right.
years.
You
I don't
just
care.
don't do it.
I
And you know,
I'm just not gonna
especially
do it.
for like when guys and that are friends be trying to hit on you and on the sly.
Yeah.
You know, see if
Flirt
you're gonna
or
bite.
whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, that's not cool. I'm gonna identify, hey, your partner doing too much for me.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna let my man know
Yes.
because that's the relationship and respect level I have.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's your responsibility to do those things.
Yeah.
It's because that's not his real friend.
Right.
Yes.
See, because your real friend ain't gonna never do that.
Never,
Right.
ever,
I'm
ever.
supposed to be able to go say, he's supposed to be able to say, D, I'm in a bad spot, man. Can you go pick my wife up?
Yes.
And
He's
be
supposed
okay
to be able
knowing
to,
that it's
that's
okay
my
for
brother.
to be around it. Yes.
That's exactly right.
I
He's
should not have
supposed
to
to
worry
know
about
that.
what he's doing.
Yeah, I just, no, that's too much.
Well, what if the guy did the girl wrong? He just dogged her out, and you're like, man, my boy treats his wife so bad, and it hurts you,
don't
it bothers you.
matter.
See, but you prefaced that whole statement with saying my boy.
Your boy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And what I'm supposed to do is not necessarily say anything to her. I'm supposed to challenge him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because
To
you
do the
see
right
this
thing.
process.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed-
It didn't
listen.
just happen.
I have a great friend. A great friend. This is my brother.
Yes.
We had a big old falling out.
Yeah. Yeah.
About him getting divorced.
Yes.
I didn't agree with it.
Yes.
Because I didn't think he was putting in the effort.
Right.
I don't want to hear about what she did.
Now,
You
that
hear me?
brought up a good
I
point.
love that.
But
I
check
don't want to
this
hear
out.
about what she did.
So what about, like in my case, so most people don't know the whole story and we won't go into all that, but what about when you get the divorce and the man didn't necessarily want the divorce and say that you filed for a divorce?
But
Does that now give him free reins from a male's perspective? Say, you know what, hey, you didn't want me, so why does it matter?
See,
Yeah, but not with her.
That doesn't have anything to do with
where you gonna
to
find
being
that?
released in the wild.
Right.
Doesn't have anything to do
You
with
go
that.
over here with all these
Yeah.
single people that I don't know.
Yeah, that's cute,
And
but
leave
I
my
hear what
friends
you're
alone.
saying.
That ain't even cute.
Yeah, that's the
What-
lamest
yeah.
excuse. Yeah, that's the lamest excuse in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Especially
that's
with-
hard for most people to deal with.
I
It
can't
is,
deal
and
with
it happens. You're not alone with that. I've
Yeah.
heard other people say
That's
things
not-
like
yeah.
this before.
It's not uncommon.
It's not.
It
not
should
uncommon.
be. It shouldn't.
But
shouldn't
it's
be a
just not
It
right.
shouldn't be a topic or discussion
yeah.
because it's not right, But hey, so be it. And then they want to look at me and be like, "Oh, she the angry black woman." Well, yeah, I'm angry and I'm black.
Well, absolutely.
But I still have a level of class that.
Okay, wait a minute.
Look, yeah, they say
Wait.
I'm an angry black woman. Yeah, because I'm gonna tear up some stuff,
You are really.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this. So,
yeah, really.
hey, don't lose it. Don't
Try
lose
not to.
it. Yeah, try not to lose it. I mean, because you
Let me
said
look
it.
at you, so
You
let me-
said it. You
Right.
started it.
I'm gonna look at another man.
You started it.
What's
Y'all
that
started
name?
this. Y'all started this.
Let
Let
me
me
look
ask you
this
this.
way. I'm listening.
What is the deal with angry black women?
First of all, what do you classify as an angry black woman so I can answer you correctly?
Okay, so think about this, and this is from a male's perspective. This is from, a brother's perspective.
Right.
I see you in Walmart. I see you in
Okay,
Walmart.
okay.
And I say, hey, lady, how you doing? And you say nothing.
Or just look at you or look
Yeah,
away.
what?
You should say, I don't want you.
Yeah, see, but think about this.
that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But what it turns into is a level of disrespect.
Yes.
If I respond, then I'm being disrespectful.
Yes.
What were you being for not
Yes.
responding?
Responding.
Yeah.
From a simple salutation, from a simple
Just being
greeting.
respectful.
I don't know. Some people are just rude.
Yeah, I just
And
think
they
they
just
got
don't
issues.
have
And do you
common
think-
courtesy.
Let me ask you all this though: Do you think it's a angry black woman stereotype, or do you think it's relevant? You know what I mean? Or all people like that? You know what I mean?
It's a
You
lot
can
of
catch
people like
people
that.
on a bad day.
You
just
can, but you know what? I'm gonna speak and keep it moving. I
Uh-huh.
think you can if you pay attention to a person's body language and conversation. If it's hey, how you doing? They don't want to talk. You can kind of tell if a person wants to talk or not. I just think it's about just being either you're gonna be friendly or you're not gonna be friendly. It's just being rude.
Is it
it's
because that's
being
just a
rude.
common courtesy.
It's just a quick hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
But
And push
for
on.
me,
And
I speak
push
to people
through.
anyway.
Right.
But a lot of people are just not people. What do you call it? People friendly or whatever.
I get it.
But I'm friendly, so I
Me
speak
too.
to everybody.
Me too.
And if
Me
you
too,
don't
I'm
speak
just like
back, I'm
that.
like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever, and keep going.
Yeah.
If I speak and you ignore me, okay. And
That'll
I'm
bother
gonna
me.
say it out loud. Okay, whatever, and keep going.
Okay, so what if you're in a business or a job and you're the manager or assistant manager, and so of course you got to set the example for the most part and speak and say how you doing, but your employees never speak back,
Your employees?
but you are the example. So it's like, okay, do you continue to speak to these people, or do you not speak, or do you
I
take
keep
the
speaking.
high road?
I think you have to,
I keep speaking.
and more importantly, you continue to speak. But I think you have to pull those individuals to the side and say, listen, hey, we may not agree on certain things. Our personalities may not mesh.
Yes.
But a simple greeting is exactly that.
Okay.
A simple greeting.
Because this is the thing.
simple
One, they will never make me become somebody I'm not. I'm not gonna stop being who I am and have that level of
That's true.
respect
They're
and
not gonna control
responsibility.
you. That's exactly right.
Because my
That's
thing is,
good.
hey, how are you? You gotta deal with your decisions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So-
you make situations worse when you don't go ahead and speak back honestly.
Okay.
Because you know
I
when
think
you,
so, too. I was just
when
gonna
you
say.
in management position,
Yeah.
okay, I can get you back for that. You
Yeah,
know, you gonna
yeah.
disrespect me
Sure.
and I'm putting out here.
Yes.
No, you got to.
So let me
I
ask y'all
wish
this.
you would.
So if Hollywood is portraying all these stereotypes of angry black women, where are they getting that from?
Movies. That
Where does
they
it come
create,
from?
Movies that they
And,
create.
and I mean, think about this.
That's very
where,
true.
Where does the stereotype come from? Why is that such a successful genre?
It's horrible.
Because one, that's the movie they portray just off 1 or 2 incidents in our life, you know, from way back then. And so now the more they put it out there, we run to see that drama, that mess. And we support that drama and that mess versus going to see something that's uplifting and educational, except for whatever the movie with Black Panther came out, you know. That's the first time we grow something that high, other than some messy drama stuff.
I think
That is so blank to me, too.
Cole, think about it. Think about the images
Yeah.
that we see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see all of those kinds of movies.
Right.
Whether the outcome is positive and or not. At the beginning, she's. "Arr!"
Yeah. Oh.
Where does that come from?
I think that's
Why?
just some things within herself, her upbringing, her past, some past hurt, some
Do you
past
think that's what it
situations.
is?
I really do.
It does, yeah.
And
I
you
think
haven't
that
gotten
when
over
people
those
express,
things?
people express themselves, and I always say you introduce yourself. Your energy introduces you before you do.
That's right.
So I'm
I
really
agree.
big with that. So
I
I
agree.
think it goes back to just their past, some issues or some situations that they may have not been able to overcome or not know how to emotionally handle, and they probably really are angry on the inside. But I don't think every Black woman is angry.
She's not. You know, but a lot of times
even
we
that are
portray
victim
it.
of circumstance, I still don't think every Black. I think it's a choice.
It's a choice, and
like
you know,
it.
and I think so.
I
When
like
we
it.
talk about your past, a lot of women don't let go of their past in fear of their future, and so we want to hold on to the fact that he's got to be like the last person. So if I start relaxing and being nice or whatever, I'm gonna let my guard down. He's gonna know the real me, that I'm soft and I'll do whatever as long as you treat me right. So sometimes women can hang on to that for the wrong reason.
I just think sometimes that, you know, we get, I agree with the fact that we get damaged in our past and we just carry it and carry it and carry it. And not just from relationship to relationship, but from life. Just every stage of life, we just carry that anger.
Right.
When is it time to let go? When do you let that anger go?
I got a question for you because that's good. So when you see a woman that hasn't let go and you're really trying to date her and get to know her, how does that affect you as a male trying to continue to pursue her?
I think if I like this young lady, I always say, I'm not going to be judged by your past.
Right?
I'm not. I'm not that kind of dude. And I'm a jack.
Yeah.
I am. I can be.
Yeah, yeah.
If you get where I'm
Yeah,
coming from.
yeah.
I was that dude
Yes.
in your past.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe you do see those traits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily that guy now.
With you. Right. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to be that way now.
Yes.
There's some deficiencies.
Do you think some women make the new guy pay for the past
all the
guys?
time. All
Mistakes
the
and-
time. But not just
I don't
women.
think all the time.
It's not just women
It's
though.
frequent.
It's not just women.
Yeah.
Men do the same thing.
Men do the same.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
have the same
they do.
kind of
Yes,
it's
they
different.
do. Yes.
It's a little more subtle.
Yes.
It's
I
a
think I
little
hear some man's going on up here.
Yeah, we just all people are like that. I think what's important though is that we have to figure out how to handle
Right.
those stereotypes. How do you handle that?
Right.
Do you handle it subtly? Do you handle it with a sharp tongue
Yeah.
or with quick
Yes.
wit?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
because we all have different mechanisms of handling it.
And it can trigger us too because you
Yeah.
get too smart with me, too quick
In
and loud.
society, like you just mentioned, you know how we all came together for the movie Black Panther.
Yes.
Right.
And so then shortly after they had another movie called out Tyler Perry Acrimony.
Acrimony.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And that was an angry black
Black
woman.
woman.
Okay, I mean she was angry.
And that's what I'm saying. And look, that did well because we flocked to that.
flopped.
And that's because
She
too many of
was
us are
angry.
relating to that and
Her
we need to
sisters
stop
was
relating.
angry.
But you know what?
Right.
But you know what?
Right.
That's a good point you brought up with that movie, because even though she was angry, she tried to love him.
She tried.
And she wanted to love him, give him a
She
chance.
tried.
And sometimes women can't understand that in being an entrepreneur, so you can have no limits set on your life.
Right.
You got to go through the struggles early
Right.
on so
Right.
that person can really advance to that level.
Right.
Like even in that movie where he became successful. But she risked it all because of listening to our girlfriends,
her sisters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's critical that when you're...
Do we all do that? I mean,
Yeah,
do
we all do it. You know
do we
what?
all listen
We
to
all
that
guilty. Other
third
person.
party?
But that's when you should.
gotta
I
cut it
tell
off.
people when you married, unless you've been rolling with your single friend for a long time and they know that they have your best interest at heart,
That's what's
I
important.
ain't taking no advice from you. I'm listening to some successful
Married people.
Yes. That's just that's me. I'm not, and if your stuff is really really jacked up, I mean, I'm not judging you because things happen and people have
You my
issues.
friend. I can't judge you.
Yes.
I'm with you every day.
Yes.
I've seen all this
Yes.
mess. I was right there with you when you put his tires on
You
flat.
hear me? You know?
Come on, yeah, don't do me like that. Oh yeah, you can be judged.
Yes.
Because I was right there with you.
Yes.
I was present.
You saw me bust the windows
Yeah,
out.
man, I
back.
was right there with you.
You lean the
I was right
seat
there
all
with
But
the
you.
you know what? I let that go because that was my past. I found the love of my life, and then, hey, you gotta let it go.
Yeah.
But too many times our friends want to keep bringing up the past. They want to
No,
accept.
because
They don't want to accept it. Now
They
you
want you to
happy.
live right there anyway.
Yeah,
Yes.
but now I'm happily married. Like you're happily married. They don't accept that.
No,
they
people
will keep
don't
looking
like
at
that
stuff
happy.
I've done wrong and say, "Girl,
They
you
like
ain't
them
no man just like
problems.
this."
They like that
When I
drama.
said I was getting married,
What happened?
some of my
Was
best
they-
friends
what-
in the world.
Yeah.
Showed out
People
on you.
you would have thought I said, hey man, I'm gonna go walk into a volcano. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump into the Grand
Ball
Canyon.
and chain.
Yeah, what are you talking
Married.
about? And I literally had to say, you do know we're about to be 50, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
When do you propose to this foolishness?
Yeah, I don't want to die by
over.
myself. I want to have some years with somebody.
And listen to this, it's not so much that I want to drag you into it with me. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to be genuinely happy, for
for
it.
me.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Be happy.
That's
It's
it.
like it's time for us to settle down.
That's it.
And you waited. That's a respect thing right
Come on, man,
there.
don't do me like
You weren't
that.
playing no guy. You
Yeah.
know when you was ready.
Don't do me
Ready,
like that.
yeah.
You was like when
I
I'm
do.
so let's ask. Okay, your 30s, and you just said you're close to 50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was your mindset at 30 and 40?
I didn't even, marriage never entered my mind.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Ever. I had significant
Now you
people.
say ever.
It did.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
I had significant people in my life who I liked,
Yes.
who I loved. But marriage,
Wasn't it?
I was kind of like, no, baby, let's just go to the movies.
Yeah. Why?
Let me keep doing
Yeah.
me.
Why
'cause
no
you
marriage?
married.
If you liked and loved it.
And, that's part, my personality was
Mindset.
just kind of just, woo.
Was it the fact that you had to commit to something? Because people are afraid of
Because
committing.
think about this. I committed to other things in my life. I committed to ministry. I
Yes.
committed-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
marriage
I
is
committed
not
to-
long.
It wasn't.
Wasn't
I
that-
didn't have a problem with commitment. That's not what I
What
had.
was
a-
it?
I
One
had-
person
it was
committed to
probably
one
him.
person?
It was just me.
He was being true to himself.
Because sometimes
That's how
people
I'm
can't
seeing
commit
it.
to just one thing.
No,
No.
man, that's not the truth.
And I think
Yeah, it is.
Think about this.
Man,
Angela.
you got so many
you know
men out
me.
here.
Did I
No,
go to
not
the gym?
you.
Did I go to the gym every day?
See, I don't know, but
Boom. Cole, did I go to the
Yeah,
gym every day?
yeah.
But
I mean,
listen,
every day.
but
Yeah.
some men just can't commit to one person, honestly. Me, because I know people.
I ain't trying to hear
no,
it,
let
man.
me tell you, I know people right now who got married, and literally within the first 30 days they was out there with somebody else, and they bring them in. I'm like, you can't do that in my house. You can't do that in my
No.
circle.
No.
No.
Oh, I
Some
don't-
people are
no,
just
some people
like-
have
they can't-
issues.
they can't-
And I'm telling you, it's just about a level of maturity.
Yeah.
Have you matured
Enough.
Yeah.
enough to say I'm going to spend my life with this
Do you
That's
hear?
it.
person?
I'm
That's
talking about thick and thin.
That's it.
This
no matter
person.
what we go
Morning through, if you're looking rough,
Yeah,
if you
all
ain't
that,
getting
man, 'cause
along,
that's-
if I don't like you today,
That's part of it. That's part of it.
exactly
And-
what that is.
And the funny part about it, and you know this, you embrace those things early.
Yes.
Yes.
You
yes.
start seeing those faults quickly.
You do. You do.
Those things happen
You do.
rapidly. Are you mature enough to handle those things?
Right. You're
Gosh,
absolutely right.
this has been some good juicy stuff. So we gotta come back because we still got other parts. This part one. We'll come back with part two. This has been Let's Talk with Angelia and Nicole. Hi, this is Angelia, and I'm here at Crew, a wine bar, and I have Asia with me, and I'm at a place I never come to because I'm not a big wine drinker, but this has become such a hot commodity now that I need to find out what's really going on in these wine bars. Asia, tell me about it.
Okay, well, Crew, we're all about wine, but as you can see, if you look at the wall here, It can be overwhelming.
It is.
A lot of people come in and they've never been here before. They're not very experienced with the wine, and this is a great place to come for that because we have these things called flights. So a flight is essentially a sampler of wines that have something in common.
Sounds great.
Whether it's the color, the sweetness, or whatever, you know, the reason is. Some of them are different than others, but we have all those. The white wines are going to be listed on the left, and the red wines are going to be listed on the white. A lot of times I find that when people come in, they don't know much about wine and they like sweeter wines like Moscato.
Yes.
Moscato is not available by the glass. Sometimes on occasion you may find it, but not usually. But it's not a bummer. It's not something you should be sad about. What I like to inform people that they're not really sure about is alcohol. The way wine is made, it can either be sweet or it can have alcohol because they use the sugar to actually turn that into alcohol. So the more sugar that's left over, the less alcohol you get. So it's kind of good to have some backups. That was weird. It's kind of good to have some backups so that you can pick wines that you like, but you don't have to sacrifice your alcohol as well. Riesling is a great choice to start for that. Riesling wines are a sweeter white, maybe not as sweet as Moscato, but definitely you can taste the sweetness.
Because I love sweet wine.
Yes, you can definitely taste the sweetness. So the Riesling's a good one to start. And when you get a sampler, you don't get to try not only one or two. You get to try 3 different glasses of wine that for the price of 1 glass of wine.
Can we start there? Because I really want to try this. I'm a little overwhelmed because I've never been in here before, but I've heard so much about it.
It's okay. We'll make it so easy for you.
Okay.
Not only will we give you the sampler, we'll give you a little card so that you can learn a little bit about the wine you're trying.
That'd be great. And guys, there's been so much talk about this place in West Village called Crew that you must come check it out. I mean, from the food to the wine, it's really just, so far my experience has been great. Let me see how this wine is.
Okay. So I'm going to pour your flight and your card. Here's your card. It's a little list of the wines that you're getting, and they go top to bottom, left to right. So the wine furthest to your left is going to be the first one on your card. And it adds up to a glass of wine, and you get to try 3 things that already have some in common. So the chances of you having one that you really like and one that you hate is not as high. You know, usually you'll like all of them.
Okay. Let's see if I can't go for 3 strikes here.
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. It looks delicious.
All right, so this will be your first one on your list.
Now, how do I do it? Do I twist the little cup I see on TV?
Now, some people do swirl. When you swirl a glass, what you're doing is you're slightly warming it up just enough to where you can smell it, and you're also opening it up in case it's tight. Sometimes you'll find when you open a bottle of wine, it's kind of, all you can smell is the alcohol. You kind of have to let it breathe just for a second. Swirl isn't necessarily necessary, but you know. Let's see how you like it. That's the first one. It's from Oregon.
This is great. What is this?
This is Riesling. It's from Willamette Valley.
Oh my gosh.
They're famous for growing a lot of Riesling grapes because the wine you drink is actually the grape.
Okay, I actually love that one.
Okay,
keep
so
this one on the
next
list.
one.
Now this one here, it looks a little darker than that one.
It is a lot darker, but they're the same grape. They just come from different parts of the world, and so the ground affects the grapes differently, and they turn out a little different.
Yeah, that one tastes, excuse me, a little more like beer to me.
Okay.
That one is sweet. I really like that one.
That's okay.
Okay, so 1 out of 2 is not bad.
All right, now let's see how you like this last one.
Let's see how this goes. I'll be a little tipsy in a minute, huh?
And this one is a German one, so it's going to be different than the other 2, but they still have...
I'm about to choke, guys.
Still has a great sweetness.
That's good. Okay, so I like these 2.
Okay.
And you know what? 2 out of 3 is not bad for wine, especially if you're not a wine drinker, but this will make me start.
And the good thing about it, we have happy hour Monday through Friday, and it's $3 off the flights and the glasses. So not only do you get to try 3 glasses of wine for the price of 1 glass of wine, you also get that for a happy hour price as well. And on Thursdays, we have half off bottles of champagne. So whether it's $400 or $40, that bottle's going to be half off on Thursday if it's champagne.
Keyword happy hour, and this wine just made me happy. This has been Angelia with Let's Talk.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. We're here at the Fabulous Crew Wine Bar, and we have our fabulous chef here who's really been cooking up a lot. He's gonna tell us about all these delicious items we have in front of us, because some of us have never really experienced what wine bars sell and what goes with it. So start here on the left, on my right for me.
Well, on the right here, what we have is a tuna tartare. Now we take ahi tuna and we chop it up and we mix it up with some olive oil and a little bit of cilantro. And then on the bottom is avocado, olive tapenade, diced tomatoes and cucumbers, and we mix it and we mold it together and serve with a little olive tapenade and delicious ciabatta that's lightly toasted with extra virgin olive oil.
That sounds great. Looks good too. So that's good. So the tuna's there. And then we have here, looks like donuts to me. What is this?
Beignets.
Beignets. Am I close?
Pretty close, but goat cheese
batter looks
beignets.
good, okay.
Yeah, so this is Laura Chanel goat cheese that we roll and we dip into a tempura batter. We lightly fry, and then when it comes out, we put it in a bowl and we top it with, drizzle it with honey and some cracked black pepper. Yeah, it's great for dessert. Sometimes
oh my gosh,
people use
look
it
at
with.
that. It looks
Yeah,
really good, y'all.
it's delicious.
Yes, that honey looks great. Now, what is this? It's
Lobster
really designed great.
and lobster and shrimp pot stickers. One of our favorite and one of our best sellers.
Okay.
We make pot stickers that are stuffed with lobster and shrimp, and we top them with Fresno chilies, a little diced cucumber to take off a little bit of that heat. They're not too hot, but just a little bit, and a nice sweet chili sauce with that. And one of our favorites, like I said.
I can't wait to taste this. Oh. Now look at this. This here is looks like some fruit that you really fancied up for me.
Well, not too fancy.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got it slice and dice just right. So let's talk about this.
Well, being a wine bar, cheese and wine go hand in hand.
Yes, it does.
As all our food goes very well with food. Cheese is just a perfect setting, perfect accompaniment for wine. So one of our popular cheese boards right here is that we have 3 cheeses. We have a Manchego, we have a Piave, and a Maytag Blue, and we serve it with sliced apples, honeycomb, and grapes, and we do some sweet bread, and we honeycomb. That's local honeycomb, delicious.
This cheese tray and this bread with this wine is going to be great. Thank you so much for your presentation today.
You're more than welcome. Thanks for coming.
This has been Let's Talk with Angelia and Nicole here at the Crew Bar. Hi, this is Angelia. Today we're talking about going out on dates. We have that perfect man or woman, and we often want to take them out to go out and hang out. But have we really counted the cost of what that date is going to cost us? Have we sat down and done our individual budgets to make sure that we know how much money we have allotted for this weekend's excursion? If not, you need to really think about it, because you can still go out on a date and make sure you minimize your expenses. When we go to movies, so many times we really don't know how much it's going to end up costing, because we go to the movie, we want to buy some popcorn, eat some nachos, get some candy, get some hot dogs, and then we get a drink and we look up, wow, we spent $30, $40 just on junk food. However, we can go to the movie at matinee, or either we can go, when the price is lowered some kind of way, or get a coupon, and then we can also go out to eat. Here at West Village, they have something great. They have different types of ice cream. Ice cream dates are really good. It gives you a chance to talk and enjoy one another over a cone. Sometimes you have to really sit down and say, you know what, can I afford to go out this weekend? Or do we need to stay at home, rent something on Netflix or either Redbox and save money but still enjoy quality time? Think about it. Counting the cost up front is better than counting the cost later, because up front, if you count it out, you're gonna save money. If you go ahead and make an impulse decision, go on this date, and now you spent money on late fees because you did not pay a bill, that $20, $30 weekend just cost you $60 to $100 more in paying a bill late. So please remember, it's fun to have fun, but think about what it cost you in the end, because we know relationships matter, and so does our finances. This has been Angelia. Continue to follow us here at Let's Talk.
Open floor plan, beautiful, great location. This is just what you wanted, girl.
Isn't that what you want too?
Yeah, but I don't have the best credit score.
Well, honey, neither did I.
True.
But I was still able to buy the house of my dreams.
Thank you.
Knowing how picky you are, you had to feel like I did.
I got just the person you need to talk
No,
to.
call my realtor. She gives referrals. So does mine.
Really?
Yes, really.
Tired of renting, wanting to build, looking for the right location, credit problems? Call Angelia Dunbar Realty.